Final Fantasy VII remains to this day one of the highest rated video games among fans. People hallmark it as one of the most influential and iconic gaming experiences of the last 20 years. But how does it hold up to a modern critical lens? How does a story with themes of environmentalism, loss, corporate greed, and moving on transcribed through a sci-fi JRPG? It's these questions and more that I hope to address this month as I revisit Final Fantasy VII. I've been putting this off for a while now, and with the remake coming around the corner, I figured this was the perfect time. The new Final Fantasy VII is probably my most anticipated game coming out. Well, except for, you know, that game, the one with the waifus and the art, best game of 2020. You don't want to say it? Should I say it? Okay. Overwatch 2, baby! Oh yeah, look at that graphic! Look at that new character, singular! Yeah. Look at that new, HUD! Yeah! We paid $60 for a 4-year demo. I now want to go into a foreword of what I remember and expect from the original, and thoughts and hopes I have for the remake. I first played Final Fantasy VII many years ago when I was a child. I remember loving the game. It was my intro into Final Fantasy, but I don't really remember it. I remember the events abstractly, like if you heard a friend summarize a story that happened when you were drunk, and I mostly remember the events of Crisis Core, which I played years later. That game is a hidden gem, by the way. I still cry at the end of that game. Final Fantasy VII is definitely the game that needed to remake the most out of any of the Final Fantasy games. Final Fantasy 1 through 6 has this nostalgic and cutesy feeling to them, and 8 and after, had real-looking people, and Square Enix can just keep pressing the 4K button to keep releasing it like Capcom does with RE4. The backgrounds are beautiful, but it kinda looks like you're playing a 2-year-old's clay project on top of the Mona Lisa. One fear I have with replaying the original is the wall of text the story is told through. I remember getting bored from all the text as a child, and games like Fire Emblem without voice acting nowadays irritate me. I just hope I can sort of overcome that to enjoy the game as it is. I also remember the story being sort of front-loaded, with the Midgar section being the most interesting, and I remember the end of the story actually falling apart. But I'm not sure if I came to that conclusion when I was a child, or if I even came up with that. It could have very well been a perception that I picked up from other people playing the game. Now on to the remake that's coming out next year. I have several concerns. For one, it was originally rumored that the game was going to come out in 3 parts, but it seems like that's not the case anymore? I have no idea. But all the footage we've seen is in Midgar, so I'm hoping we're not getting like an Umbrella Chronicles style abridged version, or it could be that they're only showing that because it's the most memorable part of the game, but it's still a concern I have. I was concerned about the battle system when the gameplay trailer first came out and it was like Kingdom Hearts. I was kind of disappointed and a little worried. Final Fantasy VII had a good combat system, I remember, and it wasn't broken or didn't need any updates, so I felt like this was just adding to the monstrously long development time, and that it could negatively impact the game. But seeing the combat system in action, though, it looks pretty awesome, so I'm less salty. On the positive side, I am very hopeful for this game. Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts 3 are the 2 most recent Final Fantasy games that I've played, and both of them had such unique and fun combat. Even if they were just games you could sort of button mash through. Final Fantasy VII does seem to have a bit more complexity with things that even resemble combos, but 15 had similar promises that weren't quite delivered. But the graphics, the characters, the voices, Tifa's redesign can choke me, it all looks very good. I'm excited to see how they do the cross-dressing scene, the golden saucer, Vincent chilling in a coffin, the drone boss fight on the railing, Kite Sith, Yuffie, and the meteor. If that meteor is anything like the scene from Kimi no Na, I'm gonna start crying. And yeah, that's about it. I'll be back with a reflection after I beat the game, and I'll be playing it on my Twitch, twitch.tv.scratchthat9. I'm sorry, I have this weird cough. And if you made it this far in the video, tell me what you're most excited for in the remake. Thanks for watching, guys. Insert lame YouTuber catchphrase here.
Embrace your dreams. If you want to be a hero, you need to have dreams.